Hey, oh.
Aha!
How's it going, guys?
All right, mate.
Good. Football's back, eh?
Right. Yeah, buddy, right. First weekend nearly over. Sunday night, time of recording. So just the Tottenham-Leicester game to go. So 9 games to talk through. And yeah, decent start. Yeah, City done all right as well. Yeah, nice little 2-2, I guess. Right, let's talk about how the league's looking. The old Saudi casuals are back and bigger than ever, with a prize pot, if you haven't seen, of £1,200. Quite clearly, a bit of ball knowledge in our league.
Absolutely.
Number 1, chili beef garnachos, Andrew Goodall on 99 points. And coming in at number 2, Locomotive FC. That's Rob's postie mate, Alex. And number 3, good to see you. Jen's gonna beat you. Guna Jen, proving once again she has got the know-how.
But only one arse. Only one arse in her team. You'd expect to see more than one arse in that team.
Yeah.
But just the one arse.
Yeah.
So
Reserved arse.
More arse, please.
Yeah.
Yeah. Decent. So but I mean, let's be honest, we're not going to put too much stock into what's going on in our league right now. First weekend, early days, still lots to go on. Quick mention, you cast your eyes down to 26th in the Saudi casuals, you'll see Robots 11. What you got to say about that, Rob?
Wow, you could say he's botted his load a bit early there, using his goal booster bonus. So bit random in a single game week, wouldn't you say, boys?
Oh, he had a scratch. He had to scratch that itch, and he scratched it early.
He has, but he's still got a few Tottenham assets, I think, hasn't he? So we'll see. We'll see.
Could end up with a couple of hat tricks tomorrow. Then it'll look like a genius move.
Yeah.
Well, fundamentally, it doesn't matter what goes on. We're here to try and advise people, and let's remember, as tempting as those boosters may seem, they're even more tempting on double game weeks. Okay, so but yeah, we won't put the knife in too hard on our poor old bots. But yeah, he's spunked his load early. All right, so what did you take away from them first fixtures then, guys?
Yeah, I think I've ended up watching pretty much every game that I could this weekend. And we kicked off with a decent. Well, it wasn't a great game, but a decent showing from a couple of players. The United game, Mainu took away 5 bonus points. A bit of an odd one because a lot of people, well, even the sort of the dream team official was sort of weren't quite sure why he was quite so popular with his ownership. Thinking maybe he wouldn't score that well, but he seems to have started off defying that. And I think he could be a really good differential aside from Fernandez at, half the price. So definitely one worth looking at, I think.
We saw in the Euros about his stats for pass completion rate. The highest at the Euros since Opta's inception. Of collecting that data, and that's going to continue. The guy's an absolute Rolls Royce, isn't he?
Yeah, mad for the age. Absolutely mad for the age. And another similar price bracketed midfielder that really took my eye. And I must admit, he wasn't in one of my draft teams. Was Mitoma. Absolutely on fire. Probably nailed on as like the left-sided sort of forward for Brighton. And looked completely back to his old self. And a bit of a steal at 3.5 million. Don't know if any of you guys saw anything of him.
Yeah, I mean, I had him a bit last season. Obviously, he kept getting injured, didn't he? But that's why he's probably gone a bit underneath the radar this time. But I think the year before, 2022, 2023, he was like the 8th best midfielder in the game. So, it could be a welcome return to form for him. He obviously looked good. 13 points. Got Ashley Young sent off as well, didn't he? He would have been clean through. So,
could have been in for a
really
second.
Talking of red cards.
Hey?
Talking of red cards.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure if he could turn back time, Cher would Cher would have kept his head out there. Brereton Diaz he's got him there, hasn't he? He's done the old trick, and done him a kipper.
Yeah, complete. Really, really dirty. That was not what you want to see, and it also scuppered quite a lot of dream team plans, really, because obviously Isak, Gordon, a lot of people, Jacob Murphy.
Fuck me up, because I took a gamble on Murphy.
Exactly.
I thought
got subbed off, didn't he? Yeah.
Exactly, and obviously Newcastle did get themselves ahead, and then didn't really try and go forward that much. Whereas probably second half they would have really turned the key, because they were clearly far superior to Southampton. So a little bit unlucky with that. But
big impact on the game, and just FYI, Shah will have a 3-game ban for violent conduct. So it's just something to bear in mind for your transfers for the next couple of weeks.
And another one, he didn't score massive points, and maybe they were a little bit unfortunate. But Munoz at Palace, basically playing as a really forward-like winger, and did look really good. And I think once that Palace team has settled down a little bit more, I think he's gonna score really well this season. He just plays so far forward. It's mad, really. And I think the only other man that sort of caught my eye a bit, but it's a bit obvious, really, is Bernardo Silva. Come off with an assist today in the later kickoff, and 4.5 million. I think he's probably the best way into that Man City defence in any sort of attacking sense. Obviously, Doku's a little bit further forward, will get rotated, and it's pretty much the same for any of the other wingers, whereas he plays in multiple positions and does pop up with quite a few points. So I think he's definitely one that hasn't really been talked about too much that I've seen. Definitely one that should be on a few people's radars.
Yeah, he is one who usually you would always opt for your KDBs, your Fodens, your Haalands, Gvardiols before you even go there. So maybe one who's always been overlooked that we need to look at a bit more harder this season. Like you say, it seems to be a bit more Pep Roulette proof,
Absolutely, yeah.
So
definitely.
you just got to look at the top of the scoring chart so far, and Salah and Saka doing Salah and Saka things. 15 points each. That's the difference between the people who are top of their dream team leagues at the moment, people who captained them, and the guys who captained Isak or Haaland instead. Basically, that's what sets them apart.
I think.
Sorry, mate. Yeah, go for it.
No, all I was going to say is I think it highlights that there's those sort of players that I think you're going to need to hold for most of the season. I think taking on Salah, Haaland, Saka is going to be difficult in their teams that they're playing in this year.
Yeah, so you can basically, what's that, 13.5, 14, 22 million. You can basically write off 22 million from your budget. And then you got 28 for another 8 players, basically. But yeah, I would say one of the games that I actually quite enjoyed watching was the Villa West Ham game. Both teams look like they've got a lot to offer, and they're still a little bit of work in progress. West Ham certainly, but the Villa midfield just seemed to me like so nicely balanced. I was super impressed with Rodgers. He's strong, direct running, just looked so dangerous, and batting people away then just bouncing off of him. He just seemed so confident in his play. So maybe all the hype around Rodgers is more than hype. Keep an eye on that. And then one who I think is going to fly under the radar, but I think he's going to be in Emery's team most weeks and score well, and that's Tielemans. Tielemans is going to be the boy a little bit deeper, pulling all the strings and feeding them the front four, the players in front of him. And I think he's going to chip in with a lot of assists because he's on set pieces, and he'll chip in with the odd goal or two. So yeah. And obviously Onana's just fucking huge, isn't he? He just looked like massive in that box when he just sent that header in, so keep an eye on him as well.
The wardrobe, isn't he? Like say, looking over the weekend, watch the old Man United game on Friday night, and for me, like Garnacho, I know we talked about this privately, but I think he's going to have a breakout season. Came on 29 minutes, assist, obviously missed that golden chance. He should have scored, shouldn't he? And you think could be a really good year for him. Havertz, seems to go from strength to strength as well as Arsenal's sort of main man at the top. So again, I think he can only just get better points than what he got last year as well. So, but I'm looking forward to the game tomorrow. Tottenham, Leicester. Obviously we'll see if Solanke starts there. A lot of us will own Porro, Maddison. He's got it all to prove as well. So it's got all the ingredients for some dream team points there.
Just that we've got a slightly different setup this year. So we're going to be doing like a reactions kind of video like this on a Sunday, which will most likely go out on like a Monday. And then we'll still be doing like a transfers video, which will go out mostly on a Thursday. Little bit different. We're trying to keep our content a little bit more direct this year. So like the video lengths will be a little bit shorter. So yeah, just let us know your feedback, and go onto the socials, give us a like and a follow if you can. We're pretty active on like YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, X, and that's yeah. So always glad to have your feedback.
Sweet. All right. Well, let's see what tomorrow night brings, and then we'll focus on midweek and getting our transfers done. Have a look at the Carabao Cup double game week next week. We'll go into that on Thursday. Once again, thank you to the big 40 who have joined us for the season. Come along for the ride, and keep an eye on our content. We will discuss the progress of the Saudi casuals. So all right then, guys, happy days.
See you later.
Catch you next time then on Into Dream Team. See ya.